Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going over third-party games that have a pretty good chance of being ported to the Switch 2. The original Nintendo Switch struggled running 8th generation console games like The Witcher 3 for example. Don't get me wrong, the original Switch technically runs Witcher 3, but you could definitely see where they had to cut some resources so the Switch wouldn't explode. But now we have the Switch 2, a bigger and more powerful console. We are still in the early stages of this console's life, and the developers are still figuring out what the Switch can run and how to best optimize their games for it. We see that games like Cyberpunk 2077 run pretty well despite the size and scope of the game. I haven't played it myself, but I've seen reviewers say that the game runs really well and that it's a pretty decent way to actually play this game. I think like the original Switch, we will see both good and bad ports of third-party titles. We are still waiting to see if the big games like Elden Ring will run good on the Switch 2 or not. We recently had demos playable for Elden Ring, which unfortunately did not have positive reactions, with reporters saying that it ran like total dog crap. But it's important to remember that these are early builds and that they are still ironing things out. I still don't really know why they decided to have a demo for a game that runs so poorly, but that's beside the point. That's the thing, we are still so early in the Switch 2's life cycle. All we do know is that the Switch 2 can handle something as big as something like Cyberpunk 2077. So with that said, I wanted to make a list of possible third-party games that could release on the Nintendo Switch 2. But before we get into it, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more Nintendo related content like this. So, without further ado, let's get into the list. First up, we have Metaphor ReFantazio. This game rocks. I have only played the demo on the PS5, but what little I played was something special. Having this grand fantasy Persona-like RPG on the Switch 2 would be perfect for quick pick-up and play sessions. Honestly, Persona-like games are kinda perfect for hybrid consoles like the Switch. These are beefy RPGs with a ton of hours of content to devour, and I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to commit to such a huge game sometimes. The portability of the Switch makes it easier for people like me to approach these games. We are already getting a release of Persona 3 Reload, so it's only a matter of time before we get Metaphor ReFantazio. Next up is Kingdom Hearts. I'm just going to include all the collections. And no, I don't want this trash cloud version. I mean an actual port of these beloved games. I still think they could have ported each game to the original Switch, but now they really have no excuse. These are some of the most iconic video games. They deserve to be played in a stable state.
The Heartless obey me now, Sora. Now I have nothing to fear.
You're stupid!
Next is Hi-Fi Rush. My goodness, this game was such a fun time. The characters are all so lovable, with Chai being such a funny protagonist. This rhythm-based action game was such a nice surprise when it first released. And I think that Hi-Fi Rush has a style that would resonate well with the Nintendo audience. Hopefully this hidden gem will be ported to the Switch 2 soon. But I would love to play Marvel Rivals in handheld mode. Marvel Rivals is an Overwatch-like game where you play as Marvel heroes and villains. I'm not into Overwatch, but this game got its hooks in me. There are so many different game modes that you can try out. Most of them are PvP team-based games, but still, for a free-to-play game, they add a lot in here. Honestly, for a free-to-play title, it's not that aggressive with its microtransactions, and you often get free skins just by playing the game. A Switch 2 port would be such a big win. Next up is Final Fantasy XVI. I really enjoyed this game for what it was. The Devil May Cry combat was as flashy as it was satisfying. I love how 16 goes back to the fantasy elements of the series' roots, with a huge focus on the summons this time around. For how epic and scoped these creatures are, they often take a back seat when it comes to the narrative in these games, but that's not the case here. To be honest, I'm not really sure how the Switch 2 will handle something like Final Fantasy XVI, but I would love to see it try. Next up is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's a recent title, but I think it has a pretty good chance at being ported to the Switch 2, with it being nominated for so many Game of the Year categories. The game is great in its own right, with a fascinating world, engaging turn-based combat, and a great cast of characters. I can definitely see the Nintendo audience being really interested in this title with series like Persona already on Switch. Don't get me wrong, it's a different flavor from your normal JRPG, but it has elements that any fan of the genre will like. Finally, we have Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 for my Nintendo only fans is one of the best games of this generation. It's a fantastic RPG with D&D like elements, and it's that aspect is what makes this game so dang good. Your choices really do matter in this game. You can also play up to 4 players in co-op, or you can tackle the campaign by yourself. The writing is excellent, with each character in your party having their own unique stories. And it's interesting to see your party members interact with one another and how their stories intertwine with other members of the party. You have so many classes and subclasses to choose from with your own created character. And on top of that, there are mods that you can either enhance or completely mess up your experience. If this ever gets ported to the Switch 2 and you haven't played this game yet, then it is a requirement to purchase it. You won't regret it. That's all I got for this list. I think all of these games have a decent chance at being ported over to the Switch 2. Whether they're going to be good or bad ports is entirely different. But let me know in the comments below if I missed any third-party games you would like to see ported to the Switch 2. So far, games like Cyberpunk and Hogwarts Legacy run pretty well on the Switch 2, so hopefully we'll see more of the good than the bad on Switch. If you like this video, consider subscribing for more content like this, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. God bless.